Hey, what's up? I'm Jay, and we're gonna install this snorkel today on the Tacoma, and let's get to it. Step one, we had to take off the wheel, and then after that way we can take off the inner lining, and then we can cut the hole. That way we can make sure that everything's mocked up for when we install the snorkel. Now that the whole fender liner is removed, we got to remove this foam fender protector, and this basically just gives shape, so we got to make sure that we don't damage it. That way we can install it back in there. We're gonna align the provided template onto the vehicle, that way we know where we're cutting, and we got to measure twice and cut once. Now we got to remove the air box. Make sure you disconnect your mass airflow meter, that way you don't damage it. Put everything to the side. I like to put things far away from me, that way I'm not stumbling over them. And we're going to remove the air filter, and we're also going to remove the bottom side of the box, and we're going to remove this insert that comes from it. Get rid of this, and we're going to have to shave these guides and these tabs off. That way we can fit the hose that is provided and put a clamp on it and make a watertight seal. So we're using a pneumatic center punch to make sure that all the holes that we're about to drill are perfectly centered, and that we can get this to fit as tightly as possible. So now that we have all these holes cut out, they're still taped up because we still got to clean the holes and make sure we put paint in between. That way we don't get any rust inside. We got this big hole cut out, and now we got to mock up the snorkel, make sure that everything seems to fit tight and snug. And then we're going to try to get over here for the other bracket. So now that we made sure that the snorkel was fit and it was tight, snug, now we got to put this bracket, make sure that we line it up with the marks that we made. So now that we got the holes drilled out and cleaned up with a deburring tool, we're gonna install these fasteners. They're just push pins, and then we're gonna fasten it to the bracket. So now we're gonna apply some paint into the holes that we've drilled. That way any rust doesn't start to build up, and we can have a much nicer finish and the paint doesn't start to crack. This is thread lock, just so that when we put it on the snorkel, they won't come loose. now we're gonna install this inner tube. That way we can install the snorkel, and that'll connect to the lower air cleaner box. And to do that, you have to pass it through the existing hole, kind of squeeze it through, maybe a little bit of lube, and get it through. And once you have that, then you can start putting everything together. Thanks for tuning in, installing this snorkel. Now we're gonna go test drive it and deliver it to a customer.